Greetings from the anonymous program, Jimmy Pipes Network, Ding. Okay, I'm Jim, and I am one day yet closer to being dead sober, and I'm excited about it. As much as you guys hate me saying that, I can't wait to go into the pearly sober, okay? I don't care if it's tomorrow or 30 years from now. That's what I want. That's what I ask God for, and that's why I'm sober every single day, because I think he gave it to me. And even if he didn't, I'm going to get there sober anyway. Okay, this is the lovely Sherry, who's a special guest today. And
Hi.
we're going to cover opiates, the misery of opiates. Okay, how we can't go back. A few reasons why, but Sherry's going to share a little bit about her experience with that, and we'll take it from there. Sherry.
Hi, I just want to go over disclosure and discrepancy. This is not to be taken elsewhere. This is a program of, what is that word again?
It's a positive network. Is what it is.
Positive network. We don't go sharing our personal stories with other people. It's not to be blasted all over other networks. This is my personal story, and I share it with you because I care about other people, and I don't want people to be in my shoes of where I was. Opiates is a big part of my story, actually an only part of my story. Unfortunately, I found myself, move this camera up, my God, he's killing me.
My guy's off duty. I'm going to do it myself today. So.
Unfortunately, I could have lost my life to an opiate addiction. In 2018, my ex-husband died of alcohol. My sons were 18 and 19 at the time. My older son just had left for college, and my younger son was just graduating high school. My son was up at college for 2 weeks, and we got that phone call that their dad passed away. It was devastating. His demise became started my addiction. I turned to opiates. It became really bad. I was using for about a year, and in the summer of 2019, right after my son graduated high school, I became really bad. I was about 3 seconds away from shooting dope. 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams, turned into 30 milligrams of Roxy's. I was sniffing 90 milligrams at a time. 1 wasn't just enough, 2 wasn't enough, 3 wasn't enough. I was up to 15 to 20 a day. Wow. I lost my job. I got fired. I work in healthcare. It was bad. I stole. I lost myself. I was losing everything. My family. My car was repossessed. I became someone who I wasn't.
Wow.
I was a good person, and I became a liar, a thief. I became somebody I wasn't, and I was ashamed of myself. I had nothing in me. I was just a shell of a person. It was a horrible, horrible thing I became. I couldn't be trusted. My sister found out. My son caught me copping, and my little sister saved my life. And she told me, I will not speak to you until you get yourself help. And if she didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have made it till Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have made it. I definitely wouldn't.
That's a good sister.
I would have ended up, definitely would have hit heroin. And that was something I never would have did. I lost my sister-in-law to heroin. I watched my brother cry. I sat there with him and cried. I've been through a lot in my life, and I basically was stabbing my family in the heart, and my kids just lost their dad. Like, how dare I do that? And that's not the person I was.
Horrible.
And I checked myself into CK Post, and I fought my way through because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to detox myself for 2 weeks and leave, and okay, I could fool everybody. And then it took this one girl. They would bring people in, like Jimmy and I are doing now. She came in to do service from NA, and she was this bubbly girl. And she told me her story. She sat there with us, and I was like, I want what she has.
Wow.
This girl been through hell and back, and if she could do it, why can't I do it? And she had this personality to die for. And I was like, you know what? I want this. And I sat there and I was like, okay, if she can do this, I can do this. Because I was a miserable bitch in rehab. I hated everybody. I was beating everybody up. I was like, don't go to sleep tonight because I'm going to kill you. Yep, I was a horror. I had a best friend in there that I made friends with, and she stuck to me. And, you know, we ended up going to our first meeting together when we got out. She's still my best friend to this day. We help each other every day if we're having a rough one. But the first thing you have to do, you know, is realize you have to surrender every day. If you don't surrender and say, I'm powerless over this drug, it's in step one. I work out of the NA program, NA, AA, it's all the same shit. It really is. But you know, no matter what program you go to, NA, CA, HA, we all work out of a big book. So if you work out of the NA book or you work out of the AA book, some people, you know, chose either or. For me, I had to get a sponsor. I would not have gotten through without a sponsor. And yeah, I have a male sponsor. Everybody says, oh, men with men, women with a woman. It's NA's a whole different ball.
Maybe I'll get a female sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. My sponsor is the most amazing person in the world. You know, yeah, you're not going to get someone that, you know, you have like the same age and stuff like that. Yeah, that doesn't work out very well. My sponsor and he's more like a dad to me, and he is the best thing that ever happened to me in the world. I lost my dad 11 years ago. He is like having my father in my life again. I got out. It took me a while to get a sponsor, it really did, but the day I got out, a couple of us that were in CK Post together, we went right to a meeting. They say make 90 meetings in 90 days. I made about 300 meetings in 90 days. I got a commitment right away. The pit at the time was my home group. The worst thing for us was that we went through this pandemic recently. I do have 90, I have 9 months, on the 22nd.
Oh, I didn't even,
yeah, I had 9 months on the 22nd. But, you know, I know that I cannot use ever again, and I don't have to, because I wake up every morning. Step one, it says you have to admit that you're powerless. If I don't admit I'm powerless every morning, you know, then that makes it harder for me because I'm powerless over my drug. Everywhere I go, you know, people always say, oh, I'm going to change where I live. I'm going to change my friends. I'm going to change this. Nice. You can change that, but guess what? You're still there.
All right, let me ask you a few questions on that. Okay, so you can't just have a few.
No.
Why not?
Because one is never enough, and 1,000. One isn't too many, and 1,000 is never enough.
Why does it work that way, though? We were just talking about that.
Because I always want more.
And that's because
I'm an addict.
Back to that's because we have this thing. I call it the void. Okay, it can't be filled. You have to understand that. So 1,000. It's none of it's wheelbarrow. Think wheelbarrow full of bags. It's not enough. Okay, so we can't go back. That's what me and Sherry are trying to do today. Okay, we want you guys who are teetering, especially the people who watch the Pipes Network, to not do it. Okay, I have some experience with opiates. Okay, some. Okay, and with oxycodone and oxycontin and Roxys and Xanax and heroin. Okay, and I felt nothing. That's why I liked it. Screaming kids, bills piling up, screaming future ex-wives, none of it I cared about. I was in La La Land all day long. That's what I thought I liked. Okay? An empty man. Okay? In the end, I couldn't handle a warm cup of piss. Me. Believe that? Okay? But Sherry doesn't want you to use it either. Tell him why, would you?
No, because it's not worth it, because it's just going to end you up in your grave. Or like my mom tells me, you relapse, you're going to end up in a can in the kitchen, because your pension, your life insurance is all going to go to your kids, because you're not going to deserve to be anywhere else, because it's going to be on you, because that's a choice that you're going to make. And nowadays, you know, both my kids are in the Coast Guard now, and the crazy thing is they're both protecting our borders. My son is, I think he actually was sent out to sea already, because I'm not allowed to know, and there's a big drug bust that's going to be coming in, and, you know, they're not allowed to tell us anything, but if you just saw on the news recently, there was a big drug bust that came in, and the sad thing is, you know, things are getting cut now with fentanyl, and there's not even just fentanyl now. They're cutting things with other stuff. That one once you don't, you're done.
You're strychnine.
You're done. They're putting baby powder and shit, you know. And my background's cardiology. We're not going to survive this. I know that if I take one more thing, it's not just one more for me, because I can't just take I can't sniff one pill. I know me. I'm an addict. I can't sniff one more. I'm going to crush 3, and I'm going to sniff 3. And guess what? My body's so clean right now, I'm going to die. That will be my last.
It's like poison now.
It is
one
poison.
Would be poison.
Everything's poison now.
Real death potential with 1 or 2.
And it's
correct.
It's not worth it. You know, my ex, he went back and he overdosed, and thank God, you know, for him, he's alive today, and he has that second chance. But you know, that doesn't matter. We have an 80% since the pandemic. There has been an 80% rate of overdoses that were not successful. Narcan didn't save them. And the new stuff that they are actually cutting the cocaine with, the heroin with, the crack with, believe it or not, they're even putting it in weed. That is actually not, Narcan cannot save you. Narcan will not save you from that. So you think, oh, don't worry about it. I got Narcan in my car too. Guess what? I won't be able to save you. I can't save myself. I can't save anybody with that, because there is no Narcan saving. So you might as well just say, you know what, this is going to be, if I shoot myself up now, you might as well just go home to your mom and to your dad, and if you have kids, and say, here, I'm going to kill myself today. So, you know, don't even bother giving me a funeral, because you're not going to be able to afford to, and now you can't even basically even have a funeral. So if you want to die, then call your dealer. Just
let me add to that.
Now.
I agree with what she just said. Be ready to die, okay? And we do the eyes here, like Sherry and I say that all the time today. I can't do that. Guess what? I don't want to spoil the party. You can't do it either, okay? That's the truth. None of us can, okay? None of us are strong enough to be able to play with any of that. So you're signing your own death warrant now. It's worse than ever. Now that you're clean, if you're clean right now and you're thinking about going back, it's suicide. It really is. You can die quick, okay? I have family members that died 1 day back, okay? Okay? Family members, okay? So it's like, recovery's good. It really is. Me and Sherry are successful in recovery. Her kids are doing well. My kids are thriving, even though I'm going through a divorce, because Dad's sober, okay? Dad's present. Dad cares about them deeply. And we say things to each other that I never would have said while on those opiates, okay? I'll give you one example. Ready? My baby girl, I go like this to her. Baby, how does Daddy know God loves him? My baby girl looks at me and goes, because I'm your baby, right, Dad? We say that to each other every time we see each other. We never spoke like that when I was high, okay? These are these little things. I get to do them all day long with my kids. Recovery's good. Recovery's good, okay?
And, you know, I suggest in finding a higher power, it doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be, you know, everybody thinks, oh, I have to find God. I have to find Jesus. This is a God program. It's not a God program. You know, at first when I came in, my grandma was my higher power, because I didn't even want to believe in God. And now, you know, I do. I found God, but that's okay. You don't have to. The ocean, there's a lot of people that are spiritual in different ways. You can find whatever you want to be your higher power. Please don't let it be a man or a woman, because that will never work out in your favor.
Or George Burns.
Yeah, or George Burns. You know, your higher power could be anything. Just, you know, every morning I wake up, I surrender. I'm powerless over my addiction. My addiction will never win. It will never win. It hasn't before, because every time I try to, I'm just going to take one today. I'm just going to take one today. By the end of the day, I was, dude, you got to come here and you got to give me more, because I'm going to throw up. You know, it doesn't work out in my favor.
So just be ready to die quick.
Yeah.
Especially now.
And get, you know, if you know, we're here, we're available 24/7. It doesn't matter, because we know what it's like to be in your shoes. We know what it's like to go, you know, to just say, I remember just saying, God, just please let me die. Go, let me be with my dad, you know, because I lost my dad. But you know what, though? I don't want to be there anymore. My dad wants me here with my kids. I want to be here. I want to see them, you know, graduate, you know, they are. I mean, they're in, you know, in the Coast Guard. I'm super proud of them. I want to see them be happy. If it's one thing I did right in my life was the two of them. But I want to see things. I want to see my nieces grow up. I want to see my boys. I want to see them have families. You know, you want to see those things. You don't want to be 6 feet under or ocean or ashes in the ocean, you know.
So life
and you
is
can.
good.
Yeah, life is amazing. And you know, there's no reason you can't have that. If you go to the NA app or the AA app and go under meeting searches, meetings are opening up. You can look there and find one closest to you. Get yourself a sponsor. Do yourself a favor. Your families will be there eventually. And you know what? If they're not, fuck them. Because guess what? I found so many people in NA and AA that I consider my family. I could call Jimmy in the middle of the night and Jimmy will be there if I need him. You know, no matter what. So you'll find people that will love and care about you. You know, like my sponsor says, you can be like, I robbed a bank last night, and we're all going to be like, welcome back. You know, like, we love you. Welcome back. It's not going to matter because we're still going to be there for you. So even if your families won't accept you right now, and even if they don't, that's okay. That's on them. You can still be clean and sober and whatever you want to call it, that's fine. As long as you still continue to...
Life is good now.
Be good. Yeah, life is
good now. It's just fine. See, look, I'm smiling too.
Exactly.
I'm smiling. You think that's a
and we're actually really smiling.
You really are. So not to be a jerk, if you intend on going back, get your affairs in order. Probably would be a good idea because it's bad out there. But really, we don't want you to go back. This is anybody. So if one person wants to talk to me, it would have made the whole episode worthwhile. Or Sherry, if you want to talk to her. She knows a lot of people, too. I mean, I'll be available, especially today and tomorrow, just because of this episode. I'm going to go out of my way to help. Okay? I might even be good for a $20 bill. Who knows? I don't know. But listen to me. We're going to say goodbye now.
We're
non-profit. That comes later. All right, but from the Pipes Network, from our hearts, have a good day. Be good to yourself. And God bless.
God bless.